I can still recall the exact instant everything shifted. We were at that classy coffee spot downtown, the kind with shining marble tables and floor-to-ceiling windows, where people go more to be admired than to drink coffee. Mia sat surrounded by her stylish friends, laughing and gossiping as if the world belonged to them. I walked in with a smile, happy just to see her. She barely acknowledged me. When I leaned in to greet her with a kiss on the cheek, she turned slightly away like my presence was bothersome. One of her friends casually asked what I did for work. I opened my mouth to respond, but Mia gave a small laugh and said, "He tries, but he's not really on our level." That one sentence hit harder than any insult I'd ever heard. Their laughter echoed in my ears. It didn't just embarrass me. It broke something inside that I thought was unbreakable. I stood there silently. I didn't argue. I didn't offend myself. This was the same person whose dreams I had supported for years, staying up late helping her prepare for presentations, skipping meals so she didn't have to. And now I was a joke to her. I drew a breath, gave a quiet nod, and said, "I'll see you around." No scene, no raised voice. I just walked away while their laughter faded behind me. What they didn't notice was the sound beneath that silence, me finally letting go. That week, I vanished from her life. No replies, no explanations. I drowned myself in work instead. For months, I'd been secretly putting my time into a tech startup, staying up through nights while she complained I wasn't doing enough. And then, as if perfectly timed, everything changed. Our company received a huge investment offer, and a major corporation wanted me to lead one of their branches. Ironically, the same company where some of her friends worked. I signed the contract without hesitation. Executive director, authority in my hands. The next Monday, I walked through the doors of the building as the person in charge, not a visitor or trainee. On the elevator ride to the 12th floor, I caught my reflection in the mirrored wall. I didn't look like someone seeking approval anymore. I looked like someone who finally knew his value. Inside the conference room, I paused for a moment, sitting at the table were Emily and Brooke, Mia's closest friends. The same two who smirked at me in that cafe. They didn't notice me at first. Then Emily's eyes widened and Brooke whispered, "Is that Mia's boyfriend?" But I wasn't her anything anymore. I walked to the head seat, set down my folders, and said, "Good morning. I'll be leading this meeting. Let's begin." The room went silent. No laughter, no condescending smiles. Only attention and respect. They straightened up and addressed me with a title I never expected to hear from them. "Sir." By afternoon, word reached Mia. My phone lit up again and again. "Can we talk? Is it true? Why didn't you tell me?" I didn't answer. That evening, she showed up at my place. No perfect makeup, no polished attitude, just tired eyes and trembling hands. She knocked gently and whispered my name. When I opened the door, she stood silently for a moment before speaking. "I didn't mean what I said that day," she murmured. "I was stressed. I was just trying to impress them." I looked at her for a long moment. The girl I'd loved was gone, replaced by someone who needed validation more than love. "You weren't trying to impress them," I said quietly. "You wanted to embarrass me." Her eyes filled with tears. She tried to smile, but it wavered. She reached for my hand, and I moved it away. "Please," she whispered, voice trembling. "Don't do this. We can fix it." But she didn't understand. This wasn't revenge. This was freedom. "You didn't stand beside me when I had nothing," I replied. "You don't get to stand beside me now that I've made something of myself." Tears slipped down her cheeks, and this time, she didn't hide them. No audience, no applause, just silence and consequences. The next day at work, Emily and Brooke avoided my gaze. They spoke with courtesy and restraint instead of mockery. And what I felt wasn't triumph or anger, it was calm, like stepping out of a burning building. I didn't even realize I'd been trapped in. I hadn't ruined their lives. I had simply stopped letting them ruin mine. Mia still messages sometimes. Apologies, long texts, voice notes late at night. I don't hate her. I don't wish her harm. I just feel nothing, because love without respect is just a slow kind of heartbreak, and I was done bleeding for people who found comfort in belittling me. I didn't post about it. I didn't seek revenge. I focused on building a life where I no longer had to ask to be valued. And that changed everything. Because the best revenge isn't loud or dramatic. It's quietly walking away, working on yourself, and letting success be the only explanation. So yes, she once said I wasn't on their level. She was right. I wasn't. I was already rising to a place they couldn't even see.